Okay, everyone, we're here live at the final day, the P. Diddy Trial. We're here. Hopefully, you guys can hear me. I'm Mike with my DJI mic. And yeah, I'm just going to give you guys a little, uh, how my day went and everything like that. So that's interesting because, yeah, everyone, I think with the verdict, they thought, I think everyone, even myself included, we all thought that he was going to get convicted on the more serious charges. But he got found not guilty of the RICO and the sexual trafficking charge. So I'm just going to give you a lay of the land just so that you guys know. So I'm over here. It is a packed house over here. So you have like the whole film crew over there. You can see they're lined down to the streets. You got cops here. And then even they blocked off uh, this whole spot, you know. So before, when I was here, a couple times before, they never had the whole street blocked off. But as you can see, it's completely blocked off. And then there's just crowds of people, all over there. There is the possibility, and this is the reason why I came down, is that, and you see that entrance right over there. Hopefully you can see it. I'll try to get a better view later. I'm just across the street right now. But yeah, there's a possibility that Diddy might actually get out today, which is pretty crazy to think about. Um, yeah, I mean, really, let's talk about a little bit. I'm going to go over here where it's a little less hectic. I mean, it's hectic all over. So they even got crews all the way over here just to keep their safe distance because they're even saying that people are over here with bottles of baby oil and it's squirted all over and stuff. So that's pretty wild. Um, but yeah, maybe I can go over here. We're right next to a park, which is weird. It's just right over there. And so yeah, let me talk a little bit about the case itself, kind of what I got out of it, as far as, my take on it. Because yeah, the last videos that I did, I was even, I was in the courtroom for the prosecution's closing arguments. And I mean, at least at that time, I thought they had a very good they presented it very well. They did it very methodically, step down and everything, step by step of like the things that he did. So like to me at that time, hello everyone just joining, thank you for checking me out. Yep, I'm live at the courthouse right now. But yeah, so at that time I really thought like, hey, the RICO is pretty easy to get solved. Sorry, it's really hot, so I'm sweating my ass off over here. So but yeah, so but the reason why I've been covering this case, if you guys don't know and you're just tuning in, you don't know who I am. My name is Eric Briones. I own Erban Creative, which is a video production agency here in New York City. And I do a lot of video shoots, corporate, some events, some with artists and documentary. So feel free to hit me up if you guys ever need some help with that. I work all over the place too, so I work remotely. So if you guys got projects that you need done. But I'm covering this case because one of my clients is one of the top firms in New York City for sexual harassment. So he covers a lot of, his firm is called Derek Smith Law Group. I would go check them out, as far as they got a YouTube and everything, and they got expert opinion on a lot of stuff. We shoot a lot of podcasts, a lot of other different type of videos, but last week we were down here at the courthouse together. So we were listening to closing arguments with the prosecution. And, the thing is like, it really did seem like the prosecution had a lot up against Diddy, that there was just too much like evidence overwhelmingly that they would charge him with, either the RICO or the sexual trafficking. Now, when I was thinking about it, I thought, the RICO was easier to prove because there were so many I forgot what the name of it is, but yeah, so many acts of aggression or whatever. So like coercion, bribery, fraud. There was all these underlying ones that they just need to check two of the boxes, and then they would have got proven for the RICO. And come to find out, I guess they didn't decide on that. What I ended up finding out more from my lawyer clients is that there was a lot of fine print when it came to the RICO charge itself. So the jury didn't know up until the last day about the jury instructions, and they found out that some things that maybe he thought he was guilty of, they couldn't even like acknowledge it or even try to charge it. So I'll give you a specific example, which I didn't realize, is that one of the things that was going to be a part of like the sexual trafficking side of it is that they could only apply it to Cassie and Jane Doe as being trafficked. And I was wrong on that because I thought that even when he's paying the escorts and he's flying them out, he's giving them payments, because, you know, there was clear evidence that some of those escorts got flown to different locations, and that's a part of the sexual trafficking. I thought that's what it was, you know, but come to find out, they were not able to let that happen. And basically that wasn't a part of the charge itself. So it was really only specifically towards Jane and Cassie, the sexual trafficking part. So that's kind of why I think they didn't prove that part. And then the other one is that the bribery and stuff like that, or the witness tampering. Yeah, more specific to the witness tampering. The witness tampering wasn't specific towards like the hotel staff, because I thought that was like witness tampering. Really, you're trying to bribe someone, you're trying to basically get them to convince them to not say anything and pay them off and everything. So I thought that was a really guilty charge, but come to find out, the witness tampering was only towards, I think, Cassie and Jane Doe. And it could be a little not completely exact on that, but that's what I've been hearing and what my lawyer clients have been hearing as well. So yeah, it's crazy. And the one thing though is, like, a lot of people are talking about, and this is just my personal take on it, is that, a lot of people are saying, I mean, obviously it's a huge win for Puffy and his family and the lawyers. They did a great job, so you gotta give them credit. This is an American justice system. There's a jury that decides, and that's what the decision's made, and that's what it is. But it's not like a complete win for him. He's still going to go to jail. He's going to go to prison. He's getting charged for those other counts, which was the Mann Act and the prostitution side of it. So, and those each have a 10-year maximum charge, each of them, and it's not concurrent. So it's not like he can just do 10 years for both of them and serve it at the same time. It's actually 10 years each. But what they're probably end up doing is giving them half for both. And then he's looking at maybe somewhere around, 6, maybe 5 to 8 years in prison. I mean, that's a long time. I'm pretty sure Diddy's like 55 right now, 55. I mean, 10 years off of your life from 55, or like 8 years, even 5 years, that's a long time. So I almost kind of think that people might not be realizing is that maybe the prosecution was going into this where they knew that things were going to be shoddy. They knew that he might not get really guilty of the RICO because it's just so hard to prove some of that stuff. A lot of people are like, oh, well, why didn't they just charge him by the state? But the thing is, the domestic violence stuff was really statute of limitations with Cassie's, at least. And then Jane, I'm not quite sure. And some of that stuff is like, maybe it gets picked up later. I'm not sure. From the state side, maybe they charge him for domestic violence with Jane. And the one thing I think was a big thing that really hurt the case is that they didn't get Gina on board. And I think they were expecting Gina to be like in the middle, because if you look at the timeline, it was Cassie, then Gina, and then Jane Doe. But Gina never showed up, which they say allegedly that she got paid off, or Diddy's team got to her, but we don't know that. Obviously, that's just all allegations. But she did show up yesterday at a Whole Foods out of nowhere and said, oh yeah, Diddy's not violent. So something very odd with that, and TMZ covered that. But you guys got to realize TMZ has Mark Garopolis, or his, that one main lawyer, his daughter is representing him right now, but he's tied in with TMZ. They got like a podcast together. So, so and that kind of leads into the media stuff. So another thing that my lawyer team brought up, my clients, is that like I don't know why they didn't sequester the jury right from the beginning, because and what is sequester? If you guys don't know, sequester is when you have a case where they make the jury stay in the hotel room, and they got to stay in the hotel room the whole time during the case. They didn't do that. They didn't sequester them. So, it just didn't work out that way. So, and I think if they would have sequestered them, then they just would have been able to, stay with them not getting distracted. And if they're going home, some kids over here. If they're going home every day and they're not at a hotel and getting like completely bombarded with media and stuff like that, there's a good chance that the jury will just start to get in their own opinion, and whatever vlogger, whoever they follow all the time and they watch, they say that they're not supposed to follow the trial, but like, do people really believe that they won't end up looking at their phone and checking stuff on YouTube or on the news? Like, so that's kind of where I'm thinking, like, yeah, I don't know. They probably should have sequestered the jury in the beginning, and they probably would have had a better chance of getting the other bigger charges. But again, I also think like maybe the prosecution was looking at it like an Al Capone case. Like, you got to think like Al Capone, they tried to charge him with so much stuff, racketeering, I think, a whole bunch of other things. But guess what stuck with him, right? Was the tax evasion. And then he was gone for a while for tax evasion. They threw the book at him. So the judge could throw the book at Diddy. I'm not sure. I don't think they will, because he doesn't really have any convicted charges of violent crimes or anything like that. And he might even get out right now. So I'm over here. We're gonna take a look. I just wanted to give my a little bit of take on it. Maybe when things come to me, I'll talk about it more. The idea here is just to kind of show you guys a lay of the land and show you what's really happening over here in the trial. And yeah, this is the last day. Again, I run a video production agency, so I want to cover more stuff like this, but obviously try to do it from a video perspective, video production perspective. So, right now I'm on a tripod. I got my DJI mic, which that kind of will clear some of the crazy, yelling and people, noise and stuff like that. The only thing I don't like about these DJIs is that they just have this like advertisement of their logo right on the, mics themselves. It's just distracting for clients. I usually try to tape this up, or actually I have a lav mic that can go under this and you can connect it to that. But these are pretty good mics. You could just use on the go. You can plug them right into your phone. So I have it into my phone right now. They work on cameras if you have a 3.5 millimeter jack, just so you guys know. So a little bit of audio advice. But I think right now what I'll do, just to give you guys a little lay of the land, I'm gonna walk around, and hopefully maybe I'll just carry it with my my hand so it's not so wobbly. So give me a second. I am going to get a drink of water and then walk around. Again, the tripod's a little shaky, so anyhow, guys, it is crazy here. It is a madhouse. And just something to know too, which my mom pointed out. She was like, it's real, it gets laggy and then you lag on the video. The reason why that is, it's not because of, or anything like that. It's just that everyone here is going live. Everyone here is, going live at the same time. So that's what happens is, it just gets, the service gets sort of interrupted, and you have that. So I'm gonna kind of put my tripod down a little bit so I don't run into people with it. Ain't trying to get sued like Diddy, I mean, that's the other thing too, is that, as much as what's happening with it all, it's like Diddy is facing so many civil cases that, really, yeah, there's a win for him, but like, is he ever going to go back to who he used to be? No, I don't believe that. Like, he might have a little bit of retribution and kind of be able to, walk back and, save some face and, turn into kind of a family man, but, he's going to have to do a lot. So yeah, I'm just walking through the video The big dogs over here, these are all the guys that have, you know, the professional video and audio equipment up. These are news stations like, you know, ABC, NBC, Court TV. So I'll just give you a little bit of walk through without my face in front of it. So take a look, guys. So yeah. Oh, this is NBC right here. Yeah. Yeah, I think I've seen that reporter before. And yeah, they're getting their makeup applied and everything. Everyone's kind of waiting right now to see what's going to happen. And if Diddy is going to go home today. So I am really busy this week. I was almost really hesitant to actually even like stop by today just because I got a lot of projects that I'm trying to wrap up, you know, before the 4th of July. And I think that's part of it too, you know. It's just human nature that, you know, the jury, they wanted to get out of there, you know. So not saying that's fair or unfair, but I knew that they were going to reach a verdict before 4th of July. That was, I think, something that I was right on. So you know, it's the holidays coming up. I got a lot of big projects on my hands right now. I'm working on some videos that I did for a battery company based in Germany. It was a really good shoot, and I'm editing a branding video for them. I'm gonna try to cross the street so I can get over and closer so I can get a better view, because it's almost 2 o'clock right now, and I'm not following the live tweets anymore or the live shows that are covering the case because we had to go live. So I don't know the exact updates. Feel free, guys, if you guys want to comment below, like what you're hearing. One of the big Twitter accounts everyone is following is called Inner City Press. They have been doing a great job of doing you know, minute-to-minute live updates from the courthouse, exactly in the courtroom. So right now, you'll see I'm going to be walking up, literally walking up. See, that's a Sony camera right there, 4K.